Greetings, everybody. This is Harmony speaking. Today is January 3rd, 2019. So, Happy New Year, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about why why people's predictions aren't and don't seem to be coming true. This is a topic I touched on briefly a while back, but I think it's time to talk about it again. And I'm going to go into much more detail this time. I'm going to be covering 5 main topics as to why people's predictions simply are not coming true. First, I would like to speak from, I guess, my most area of expertise, and that is I am a QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Therapy Level 2 practitioner. Let me do a quick plug here. If you're interested in having a QHHT session, go to the description below, and you can go to my website, www.soulharmonics, that's with an S, .net. QHHT, for those of you who don't know, we take you through a couple of past lives, so you're hypnotized, you're in the deepest state of the brainwave, the theta brainwave, and we take you through a couple of past lives, and then eventually we have your higher self come into your body, take over your vocal cords, and speak, and then the client comes with usually 20 questions, and I simply, or the practitioner, whoever is doing your session, simply ask directly your higher self the questions. And they're your life-burning questions. They could be anything, am I ever going to get married? Should I marry this guy? What career should I take? Guidance. Life-burning questions like, what is my purpose in life? Why did I come here? Who is my higher self? You can ask about the event. A lot of people do that. The Mandela effect. It doesn't matter. It can be simple stuff, complicated. Doesn't matter. It's your session. You get to ask any question you want. QHHT does have to be done in person. Now, for those of you who can't come to see me in the Dallas, Texas area, I do have what's known as a soul harmonics technique. So that can be done remotely over Skype or whatever. And the difference between the two is with soul harmonics, we don't go through any past life regression at all. I take you, or I should say your higher self takes you astral projecting to go what we call the meeting room, where you get to meet your soul family. You get to meet your higher self there. And it's just an amazing, beautiful experience. My clients always have smiles on their faces. They have tears of joy. And, that alone is life transformational. But with both techniques, soul harmonics and QHHT, we have the higher self, some people call it your soul, come in and take control and come to your body and take control of the vocal cords. And then the practitioner, me in this case, speaks directly to your higher self, your soul, who you truly are. And I ask the questions that you came with, and you get the answers as recorded. It's a truly life transformational experience. It's very, very beautiful. QHHT is more detailed. We spend the first 2 hours. It's kind of like I guess some people think of it as like a counseling session. A lot of people are like, I would come just for, the 2 hours that we just spent together, because they really get to unload a lot of stuff that they can't talk to normal, regular people about. So the counseling session, I guess, it's technically called an interview, but to me it's more of a counseling session, especially since I am a Christian counselor and I've been to grad school for marriage and therapy, family therapy. So to me, it more resembles a counseling session. And then we do the hypnosis session, and then afterwards we talk about it for an hour. So the QHHT session is at least a minimum of 4 hours, up to 5. But anyway, getting back to our topic here. So in QHHT, what happens is sometimes we actually might be talking to the person's subconscious mind. That's possible. We might be speaking to the person's soul. I don't want to get into a long discussion about, oh, by the way, I apologize for the bad lighting. I'm on vacation and I'm doing the best I can. So sometimes we talk to the person's soul. I don't want to get into that. That's like an hour-long discussion about what is a person's soul. And then we have what's called, some people call it the oversoul. That's the immediate spirit that's over you. And then some people say, higher self. I don't really want to get into a bunch of semantics and language. The point is, we're talking to something that's beyond your conscious mind to get your answers. Now, the thing is, As you know, QHC, particularly Alice and Co. And others, other practitioners, have made a lot of predictions about the event. And every time they do that, when they give a timeline or a date, I just cringe my teeth. I'm like, why did they do that? I can't believe they did that. Because it's very true, what the Bible says, that no man knows the day nor the hour. And I'll go one beyond that. I've actually spoken, not telepathically, I guess you could say. Some people call it praying, whatever language, meditating, whatever language you want to use. People can communicate directly with Jesus Christ, okay? And I do. And Jesus Christ himself personally told me that not even he knows when the event is going to happen. So not even Jesus Christ knows, okay? So Jesus Christ knows, these other folks can't know. So what's happening is, what I've seen is practitioners are making a grave error. They're listening to a client and they're just repeating verbatim what the client says, and they're not taking into account that, let me use a parable here, a metaphor, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like, if you're a bird flying around up on the mountaintop and you see an army marching and they're coming into the forest, and you yell down to the folks in the forest, hey man, they're coming, they're going to be here any minute, you better hurry up, you better go, you better get out, you better prepare to fight, you better go, get ready, they're going to be here any minute. But to the people on the ground, it's going to take a month for them to get there, because with the bird or the guy up in the air, forgot to mention is, I can see for 100 miles, and it's going to take them, 205, whatever, how much. It's going to take them a while to get here. But to that guy, it's intimate. It's intimate. It's going to happen real soon. But to the people on the ground, it's going to happen, forever. So they get the message, and they're like, they're not here. When, they're sitting around, they're prepared for battle, and they're not here, and, they're like, what the heck's going on? It's called perspective. It depends where you are getting the information from. For example, some higher selves are extremely advanced beings, and let's say they're beyond the 10th dimension. They're going to see the event a particular way, and they're going to describe it a particular way. If you have somebody who has not been around long, they haven't had a lot of incarnations, or they're just not an old soul, and they're seeing it from, let's say, the 6th dimension. When you see something from the 6th dimension and from the 10th dimension, it's completely different. You're going to get two completely different stories. You're going to get two completely different timelines. And this is what's happening in a lot of my sessions. I'm constantly getting, at face value, what would appear to be conflicting stories, but I know they're all talking about a single event. They're just describing from different perspectives. I'll give you another example. You've all heard of this one. You take five guys, you put blindfolds on them, and you say march forward and feel, and they're all feeling this. They're supposed to be feeling the same thing. They're told you're going to feel the same thing, and they're all feeling something different, describing something completely different. They're like, you're crazy. No, it's this, that. They take their blindfolds off. Lo and behold, it's an elephant. One guy's touching the trunk, one guy's touching the foot, one guy's touching the tail, one guy's touching the belly, one guy's touching the ears. They're all describing the same event very accurately. They're just describing it from their perspective, from their experience. And this is why in the QHHT community we get so many different stories about the event and the timeline and everything. And it sounds like a bunch of conflicting information, but in reality, it's just a bunch of people telling it for a different story. It's like, if you have someone from the Orient, from Asia, describing an event, they're going to describe it probably different from somebody in America. Take our English. You have English humor, American humor. We have culture differences. There's a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different differences, and this is why we get a lot of different stories and timelines and events for the same event, is because people are just coming from different angles, different perspectives, different dimensions, different experiences, and that's what's really happening. But in the end, kind of like the elephant, they take the blindfolds off, they're all describing the same thing, is what's happening. The thing is that time is different. The Bible says that 1,000 years, days, 1,000 years with the Lord is like one day on earth. Okay, so we know time is relative to where you are in the universe. So if you're describing the event from a different time, time is, for example, if 2 hours here on earth is 5 years for them, and they're going to be describing in their time frame, not our time frame. And the thing is that people aren't checking to say, hey, are you talking about time on earth, or are you talking about your time? So that's why we get a lot of differences in time. This also refers to people that receive messages, people that channel. Unfortunately, you know, the higher dimensional being, the most advanced being, alien, whatever they're channeling. There's like this crayon guy. I don't know much about him. But anyway, the thing is, the person delivering the message to the human kind of forgets sometimes to say, I'm talking about my time frame, not yours. Okay? And the person receiving the message kind of forgets and says, hey, are you talking about my time frame or your time frame? The other problem we run into is what timeline? There is more than one timeline. So something can happen in one timeline, but it's not going to happen on the other timeline. And the person is channeling a message about what's going to happen on a timeline over here, but they're on this timeline. And that's another reason why it never comes true, because it came true on this timeline, but not this one. Two different timelines. So we also have a timeline problem. The other, and I mentioned time. Now, the other thing is, people could be receiving accurate information, accurate timeline, everything. But what people seem to forget is time's not exactly static. It doesn't stand still. Okay, yes, I know there's no such thing as time, and that's a whole, and there's no such thing as space, and that's a whole other argument. I've made videos on that as well. But basically, time's not static. So when they're predicting something in the future, it could change. Yes, believe it or not. If someone makes a prediction about something in the future, it can change. What happens is that they'll make a prediction, they'll give a message, they'll say this is going to happen, and then lo and behold, there's a war going on, folks. There's a spiritual war going on, and then the bad guys, you know, are trying to stop them. And they will literally stop this prediction or this message from happening. Like, it's very accurate information. The person's being truthful. It's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen on this date. Yes, by golly, it's going to happen. But then the bad guys come along, launch a campaign, and then they delay it. For example, I personally know that what humans call the event, the big event, it has been delayed twice. 2 times we were supposed to have the event. Twice. They fought hard, really hard. And these guys are not dumb. I hate to say it. They're extremely brilliant. They have a lot of resources. They have a lot of tools, technologies. They can go into other dimensions, and they can pull beings from other universes, and they can manipulate time themselves. And the bad guys are a very worthy adversary, believe it or not. They are. And they fight hard, and they will fight to the end. I call them fumes, the F you make me people. It's like, you know, we tell them, you know, your days are numbered. You're doomed. You're gonna be cast out in the fire and broomsticks and the eternal darkness. And you know, and they're like, you know, they do the little middle finger at us and go, F you make me. You know, I don't care about your prophecies. I don't care about your predictions. You make me. You make me do it. F you make me. You know, that's their attitude. So we can have a very accurate prediction, and then the guys fight, and then it doesn't come true. I cannot tell you how many times I have personally seen this happen when something is supposed to happen, and then the bad guys fight, and it delays this prediction. So that's another problem we have, why predictions are not coming true. The other issue we have is, well, you can just have what we call operatives, the bad guys. You know, they call them shills, I think. There are people out there that they know that human beings, you know, hope and faith is very, very powerful, very powerful. And what's the best way to destroy somebody's hope or faith? They open up a YouTube channel, they say a bunch of good stuff, they get a bunch of followers, and all of a sudden they drop this bombshell that sounds like accurate information, because I always say, in order to tell a lie, 90% of it has to be true. So in order to tell a lie, for it to be effective, for it to work, in order to tell a lie, 90% has to be true. And then it's that little 10% that gets you. It's that little 10% that really screws with your head and screws you over and messes you up and ruins your day. So the bad guys will have a YouTube channel. They'll be giving out all this great information. And then all of a sudden, boom, they'll drop a bombshell. And they're like, the event's going to happen this day, or this is going to happen this time. And they're lying. And they know they're lying. And they're doing it on purpose to destroy your faith and your hope, to make you believe that this event stuff is a bunch of crap and it's never going to happen. Okay? What is happening is, this is live. This is a live, this is a live life you're living, you know. Time is moving along. Things are happening. Events are happening. So if you make a prediction, and then at this point in time, that it's not static. Okay, time's moving. Then the bad guys come along. Event doesn't happen. That's all. It's war. It's war, folks. Do you know what war is? You know what battles are? Okay, we're in the middle of a war. This is war, folks. This is not fun and games. This is not happy times. I'm sorry. This is a war. There's a major, well, yes, okay, there's happy times. There's another story. Don't want to get carried away here. Okay, have to be careful what I say. All right. So, yeah, so hopefully, you know, you folks get the idea by now. You know, people have to understand where the information is coming from, what time frame it's coming from, what dimension it's coming from, what timeline they're talking about, what perspective. You know, is there going to be a battle and the bad guys are going to stop it? I mean, there's so many contributing factors that can happen once a person makes a prediction, so that prediction never comes true. It's one of the reasons why I stay away from them. If you know me, I tend to report on events after the fact, after they've happened. I'm not here, you know. There's been a couple exceptions where I'm like, hey, everybody, look out, you know, there's a big battle coming, be careful. I did that like last week from Vegas. I was warning everybody, we're in the middle of a battle and it's really bad out there. It's well, it was. It's better today. But back then, it was nasty, it was dangerous, you know, oh my God, the things that were going on was just horrendous. So I put out a video saying, you know, protect yourself, pray. And you should always do that, of course. All right, so in a little bit here, I am going to make another video. I don't know. I'll make a video today, maybe shortly. I'll make another video about an update on the event. I will discuss what happened last night, starting at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, or no, was that Pacific? I think it was Pacific time. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was around 10 p.m. Pacific time, and it ended at 3 a.m. Central Standard Time. Sorry, I'm using two different time zones. I'm just remembering how it happened because it started my time at 10 p.m. I'm on Pacific time right now, so it happened for me at 10 p.m. and then it ended 3 a.m. Central Time is when it ended. So that would be 1 p.m. Pacific time. All right, everybody. Until next time. I hope you're all doing I hope you're all doing well out there. Go down to the description and book a session. God bless and be well.